growing up in New York City, you need to make money. I had a regular job, just like everybody else. I worked in a bank. I was doing all right, had a little money to pay my bills. But if you really want to live while you was in New York, you needed to figure out other ways to make it. It's that hustle lifestyle. Now, the hustle lifestyle, if y'all know what I'm talking about, that wasn't for me. I'm not about that life. But I had to figure out different ways to make money. And the one way that I found to make money, and it's something that I did that I loved, was sneakers. Sneakers was my thing. You know, I was the guy who I was on the phone looking to see when the next Jordan drop was. Now, here's the thing. I was not standing in line for 2 hours to get them. And I'm gonna talk about that. But it was important to me. It was something that was about my culture. It helped express to the world kind of how I was feeling, the different sneakers that I had, the different outfits I was able to put together. You know, you feeling fresh. You know, oh man, I had the notebook dunks. So they look like the old composition notebooks. Yeah. And I threw that on with a nice, you know, black and white shirt looking. I thought I was killing them. But yeah, so here's a couple things. Like I used to just, first, it started off just me buying sneakers. I would buy a new pair of sneakers, be able to wear them, be able to be out there just stunting on them. Like, hey, you know, you ain't got these. You ain't up on this. You know what I mean? But then I had to start getting wise because I'd have people coming up to me like, yo, where you got those? Oh, those is fresh. Oh, I wish I can get a pair of those. And then it clicked to me like, there's something that I love, something that I have, other people want. And at the bottom line, that's a business. If you have what people want, that's supply and demand. That's what they teach you in economics class. So I started saying, okay, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna buy a pair of sneakers for me, but I'm gonna also buy a second pair to flip. And you might be like, well, that's a lot of money. But if you think about it, it's actually it's a genius way. Because the pair you buy for yourself, that's a loss. You're not getting none of that back. You're gonna just take the L on that. But the pair you get to flip, you getting resale value. So you may pay $200 for the sneakers, but if they can't go to the store and get it, you don't have to charge them that price for it. You can mark it up. So you may say, that $200 pair of sneakers, I'm gonna sell it for $300 because now you can't get it nowhere else for $200. And that's what I did. So I started buying a pair of sneakers for me, buying a pair of sneakers to flip. So ultimately what it'd be was, I got 2 pairs of sneakers I paid, this is a while back. This was like 20 years ago, but I would buy $300 worth of sneakers. Then I would flip one for about $250. Therefore, I only paid about $50 for my pair. So I ended up saving money by being able to just do something that I love, going to the store and buying sneakers. But then the business mind came up. It was like, man, I'm sitting here and I'm doing this and I'm still quote unquote losing money. How can I start making money on this deal? Well, that's where I started using partnerships. And that's where it's important to understand that the more you can build partnerships and build relationships with different people doing different things. What's crazy is I started building relationships because I'm in these sneaker stores every day, every couple weeks, whatever it is, with the guys in the store. And come to find out, one of my real good friends worked at a sneaker store. So I was like, bruh, I need you to help me out. I'm paying hand and foot for these sneakers. How can you help me? He was like, oh, it's no problem. You know, I got the friends and family discount that I can give to you to help you out. So, you know, that ended up being clutch because now the sneakers that was typically $100, $150, I start getting now for $70, maybe $100. So when I flipped it for the $150, $200, now I'm making a little money on both of the sneakers. I end up with about $25, $30 at the end of it, but I'm now not paying for my own kicks, which is now a win. So now I'm starting to make a little bit of money. But you say, hey, you only made $30 on a deal, but it's cool. If I'm doing that with 10, 15 different pairs of sneakers every week, every 2 weeks.
Hold on. So you was working a job
to
buy those,
to buy sneakers, to then flip them to make more money.
That was a hustle.
Yeah, so it's again, you don't have to necessarily do something bad to make money, but you just got to be smart. If you say, hey, my rent is due on the 30th and today's the 5th, I need to have my rent money by the 30th. You can move your money, and this is what investors do. They move their money throughout the month, but they make sure at the end of the month they're able to pay what they have to, and then they're able to keep that extra that they earn. So like I would go get my paycheck on Friday, I go to the store, I buy my sneakers. I'm walking out the sneaker store with bags. I'm talking about maybe 12, pairs of sneakers, bags, but then I'm in the barbershop Friday night, like, yo, you ain't got these.
Like,
you ain't got these. And they be like, oh shoot, can I get those? I'm like, yo, I actually got another pair in the car. If you want them, I'll give it to you for X, right? So it's business in a way that you wouldn't even think. So you think about marketing. I was marketing the sneakers by wearing them, put on the fresh fits. But they say look good, feel good, do good. So I had the fresh fit on. I'm showing them off. I'm showing them what they look like. Then after that, I'm now making an offer to them like, hey, matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. I got another pair if you want them. And then you make the deal. So I say all that to say this, is that you can have a love and desire for stuff, and you can actually make a business out of it. You can make a little money, make a little hustle, and keep it moving. And what I think has been a blessing to me throughout this whole thing is that it taught me something, and I'm able to talk to other people about my experience. And it's funny because a couple of days ago, I'm sitting in a building and I got on a pair of my old J's. I got on some cool grays that I've had for years. And a young lady comes up to me and she goes, man, how you beating up your cool grays like that? And we was able to get into a conversation about sneakers and kicks and the whole 9 yards. And I told her I'm a recovering sneakerhead. I'm 463 days clean, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But we were able to get into a conversation, and I was able to share with her like, hey, you love sneakers, that's really dope. Let me put you onto a little hustle that you can help, get more sneakers because you really love them and you want to keep doing it, but also maybe be able to put something away. And then now through my experience, I've actually been able to level it up even a little bit more for her. So like I challenged her and I said to her, you buying these sneakers and you making no money right now, nothing. I said, well, imagine if there was a scenario where you can actually buy the sneakers, you can make a small investment, and long term, make a ton of money. And I just gave her a suggestion. I was like, what if for every pair of sneakers you bought a small fractional share or a share of Nike, right? So you go out, you spend $200 on a pair of sneakers, and you go spend another $50, $60 on a share of Nike. You think about that long term, over 500 pairs of sneakers would have been 500 shares of Nike, and you multiply that over 10, 15, 20 years, now you got a little nest egg put away. Plus, if you're doing the buy one, flip one strategy, now you got a little money in your pocket too. So you got money for now, money for retirement, and all you're doing is you playing in the sneaker game. So it's cool. Like if you like sneakers, bro, go all in. But start to think about, how can I do this and do this in a way that's gonna be efficient, help me maybe make some money at the same time, and how do I also create a plan that long term I'm good off of something I love. Now for you, it may not be sneakers. You might be a gadget guy. You may have like all the new fancy tech watch. You may have the fancy cameras. You may have a drone.
Wait a minute, why you gotta mention that? I ain't even in this.
Bruh, I'm a shots fired. If you in the building, it may be shots fired. For somebody else, it might be clothes. You might like, the new Gucci outfit or whatever it is, or the new Louis shoes or whatever it is. But find a way that you could create a market for it, understand the people who also enjoy the same things you love, and find a way to get that to them. And if you're able to do that, that's a business. That's a way to help you build and grow, but do something that you have fun with. But remember, don't miss it. I was working a full-time job while doing this. So it's not that I quit what I was doing. This was just something that I loved and I was able to hustle and do on the side. And it was just something that ended up helping me and grow.
So you're saying like they don't have to have the idea to try to make a business out of it. It's smart enough, like you told the young lady, it's smart enough if you're gonna spend the money, you might as well invest in yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, this don't have to be a retirement plan. It could be a hobby. And that's a lot of people that do things for hobbies that make plenty money, like for hobbies. So you could just do something that you love on the side, find the market for it, and then you're good to go. So I'm gonna tell you again, find something that you love, something that you enjoy. For me, it was sneakers. Create a plan for those sneakers, buy one, flip one, start building relationships, see within those relationships if you could save a little bit of money on that. And then at the end, you can see if you can help yourself out. Invest, maybe find a stock or something in the company that you're looking at, and see if you can start to build a little portfolio to help make yourself some money. Again, we're here to help everybody live above, below their level, and we're gonna teach you how to do it. So I appreciate y'all. Like always, like, subscribe, share. This one's for y'all. And for my sneakerheads out there, I know what y'all going through. Peace out.